사라진 일상, 헝클어진 질서가 지배하는 세상. 우리의 내일은 어디에 있는가? 세계지식포럼.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chaeyoung Lee, and I'm honored to be your host for this session. This year's forum is held both online and offline according to social distancing guidelines due to the global outbreak of COVID-19. We'd like to express our sincere gratitude to our honored guests and online audiences for attending this forum, which is held online and offline. We'll now begin the open session titled Transformation from an Airline to a Platform Business, focusing on travel and lifestyle. The moderator for this session is Professor Hong Dae-soon of Ewha Women's University. So please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the world of airline industry. Before we start, let me ask one question. How many of you use international airline from May to September this year? Raise your hand. Yeah, this is our reality because of pandemics. So it might be very hard for airline player to how to get over this situation. So what's happening in the airline industry, and also what will be the future of airline industry. So today, for this session, we will bring Tony Fernandez. He's one of the recognizable global CEO of Airasia. As you know, Airasia was just Malaysian local carrier in the past, but now it's the world's 13th largest airline by passengers carried. So we will be very happy to hear Tony's speech. So please welcome Tony's speech. Please give him a big hand.
Thank you for the introduction, Professor Hong. Annyeonghaseyo to everyone in Korea, and hello to everyone in the world. I'm in Malaysia right now, and give you a quick rundown of how Airasia is doing in this incredibly crazy world that we live in now due to COVID. Obviously 18 years ago, I started this airline called Airasia. I bought it for 25 cents with 2 planes, and we grew to 275 planes in 18 years, becoming the 4th largest airline in Asia, and really creating a whole new low-cost revolution that just wasn't there. At one stage, we were back to 2 planes. So it's like that snakes and ladders game, you know. You go all the way up to 97, and then you land on that ladder, or snake, and brings you all the way down to 2. But, you know, we've been through many crises. I got to admit, this is the biggest one. And I thought I'd seen everything. But we'll come back stronger. We remain very optimistic. And things are beginning to look up a little bit. We're now into September. Effectively, we kind of were hit with COVID in February. And we've begun to resume flying. About 30-40% of our fleet is flying, and I'm optimistic that by the end of the year we'll begin to see borders opening up. Domestic flights in all our countries have opened: Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, and India, and a little bit in Japan. And demand is very strong. So I think the first message, which I think has been seen in Korea and China, is that there's a huge pent-up demand for flying. I think Airasia, if you're going to be an airline, is a slightly better market because we're regional, we're short haul, and we're low cost. I think the business market and intercontinental flying is going to be affected for a long time. We've adapted very quickly into this pre-COVID world, from the way we deplane people to cleaning the aircraft to we've built a whole new app where you can put your COVID test into our app. We worked with clinics to make COVID testing as affordable as possible. And we're ready for this new world. I tell everyone, after 9/11, when we started 18 years ago, there was a whole lot of new security protocol. And we were all kind of thinking, is this the end of flying? It wasn't. We got used to the security protocol, and we were prepared for it. Similarly for health, there's going to be a whole list of new health protocol, and it will get better and better and better. And flying will get back to where it was before. But Airasia hasn't stood still. There's one benefit of this COVID. You know, we've decided to pivot our business and use the major asset that many analysts have not really noticed in Airasia, which is our digital background, our digital data, sorry. Airasia is a digital company. 18 years ago, we were the first ones to use the internet to sell tickets in Southeast Asia. We were the first to embrace social media. And 2 years ago, before COVID, we started this whole data revolution, working with Palantir and Google. We started to understand data. We started to understand the power of our data. Our data is very high resolution, higher spend, because people are traveling on planes, and so the spend is much greater than on mobility, such as ride-hailing. And we have much higher levels of KYC, because we have passport information, very detailed credit card information, etc. So we know spending. Also, we have very strong loyalty programs. So we know our customers very, very well. We've now split our company, as you can see in the chart, into two groups. Airasia Group is the holdco, and we have Airasia Airline Group, which holds all our airline assets, which I'll talk to you about in 1 second, and Airasia Digital, which holds all our digital assets, which is a very, very exciting part as we pivot our business from just an airline into a truly digital company. Airasia Airline Group is now made up of 6 airlines, investments in 3 airlines. We have a fantastic ground handling company with SATS from Singapore. And we've built a really great engineering company utilizing huge amounts of data. I think we're probably the most advanced engineering company in the world, called ADE. And our airline food has become so popular, we opened a restaurant called Santan, which now has 2 restaurants in Malaysia. And we've just got our franchise license, and we're going to open up all over the world. My dream is to make Santan as well known as Airasia and, dare I say, McDonald's, the first kind of ASEAN fast food company. On top of Santan, within Santan, we've also built a fantastic farm-to-table company called Our Farm, helping farmers increase their income and businesses to reduce their cost. And we're looking at a cloud kitchen on top of our in-flight kitchen. So that's the airline group. Airasia Digital is amazingly exciting. We've taken our data and we've built 4 really great businesses. I say 5, but I'll tell you what the 5th one is in a second. I'm actually in here right now on the 5th business. The main businesses we have built in Airasia is, one, our platform. Airasia.com has 60 million people coming every day, unique visitors, coming every month. And we only sold Airasia tickets. But over the last year, and over this COVID period, we really kind of went to overdrive. We built a travel app which is as powerful as Expedia or Agoda, where we have our own hotel supply. We built a fantastic new product called Snap, using artificial intelligence, which will pre-populate a hotel for you. I call it the new way to fly. So when you buy your flight, the hotel will be there already, saving you a lot of time and effort. Plus we know what you would like and the best prices. We've created activities, we've created deals, we've created a Prime-like product called Unlimited. Amazon Prime, we've created ours called Unlimited, and already sold over 200,000 unlimited passes. The first in the world, I think, where you can buy a pass and fly as much as you want to fly within the domestic boundary. And there'll be more and more unlimited programs coming up. We have a great deals website with our loyalty card. So that is our travel platform under Airasia.com. But now we've extended it into lifestyle with fintech apps, with some health apps coming, partnerships, and a very strong loyalty app coming, and some e-commerce, which I'll talk to you about in a second. So Airasia.com now is much more than just buying Airasia tickets. We also sell other airlines as well, including our own competitors. We're now building towards a super app. And many people will be skeptical, but those were the same people that were skeptical when we started Airasia 18 years ago. COVID has driven more people to use digital apps, and we have a very loyal database within Airasia. And so we feel confident that we can make this cash flow positive without the huge amounts of cash that others have used to build that, because of our strong, loyal database and our loyal customers. We then have a fantastic logistics business called Teleport, which is air logistics, and now we've built last mile logistics. We do delivery to home, and we've also built a fantastic blockchain called Freight Chain, which works with other airlines around the world. Cargo is obviously growing tremendously. We're reconfiguring a lot of our aircraft to do just cargo flights as e-commerce has boomed. And we probably have the best network in Southeast Asia. So we're very excited about cargo, but we're extremely excited about doing last mile and providing customers an opportunity to deal direct with us, to do all their freight forwarding as opposed to go through many middlemen, and save them a ton of money. On top of that, we are ramping up using our delivery as a platform, two e-commerce propositions. Our food proposition, which is delivery of restaurant meals and prepared meals. Also fresh food. We're using our airplanes to bring food from Japan straight to the table in Malaysia, from East Malaysia into Korea, etc. So Airasia Food is going to be a very new, exciting food concept, not just limited to food delivery, but fresh food as well. And we've created a shopping e-commerce underpinned by what we know best, travel retail. When you go traveling, you buy something at the duty free, you go shopping in that country, and you probably go to an outlet mall. So Airasia Shop will be focused on those three things: duty free, which we can deliver to your home, as many products are already duty free. Cross-border, so what you would have bought in Seoul that you may not be able to go to Seoul at the moment, you can now buy on our website. And all those outlet malls that have lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of customers because of lack of travel are now working with us to fulfill their shopping appetites and their supply. So Teleport is really a logistics dream, airline, last mile, and two great e-commerce properties that are underpinned on delivery. We're even at the moment now investigating drone delivery, and not too far away from what Amazon is doing. So that is Teleport, and then we have two great fintech companies, BigPay, which shows the power of our database. In less than 2 years, we have built a bank. We're now applying for a banking license. We just about got our lending license, we've got our remittance license, and we're going to apply for a full banking license. BigPay in Malaysia has already got 1.2 million customers. We use MasterCard as a prepaid card and have carded 700,000 people. GMV, about $70 million to $80 million a month. Remittance volume growing at 45% every month. And we're about to launch in Singapore next week. So both the biggest regulators in ASEAN, Bank Negara in Malaysia and Bank Singapore, Monetary Association of Singapore, have approved BigPay, which is a big plus. But BigPay has been built less than $25 million because of our strong database. And that's going to be, my dream is to be the ASEAN financial bank, providing great lending solution, remittances, and being a marketplace for financial products for people of Southeast Asia. And finally, this all underpinned by our loyalty card, Big Loyalty, Stroke Rewards, where we have now 35 million members across ASEAN. Big Points is becoming one of the currencies of ASEAN in some ways. Of course, not a currency, but you can now, in the middle of September, everything on airasia.com can be paid for with Big Points. We created a product called Big Exchange, which also many other point aggregators are allowing their points to be swapped to Big Points. So our ecosystem is underpinned by our customers, our database, and big loyalty. The fifth vertical is where we are now, Red Beat Academy. We don't want, many of our staff are going to have to be reskilled due to this digital drive, plus also capacity will be changing. So we're training our staff into this new digital world and have 5 main pillars within the academy. But it's been so successful, and we've been working with Google on this academy. Many companies are now using Red Beat Academy to reskill their staff into the 5 main areas, from UX to cybersecurity to product development to engineering. So we haven't stayed still. No point crying. We haven't put our heads in the sand and blamed everyone else. We're fighting this COVID. We're going to come out stronger in this new world. And we're excited about what we're doing. And I believe Airasia will come back stronger. I hope to see you all flying an Airasia flight. Remember, only fly Airasia. And hope to see you in Seoul, my favorite city, outside of KL for a variety of reasons. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe. Be positive. Don't let COVID get you down. Lots of love, Tony. Bye.
Wow, Tony, your presentation is really excellent and meaningful to all of us. So he's redefining airline businesses for the new generation of airline industry. Maybe it'll be good insight for us. So Tony, I have just 2 questions. First one is airline industry is really severely damaged by the pandemics. So could you suggest new direction for airline businesses? And is there any antidote to the severe, dire situation? Let us share.
Well, the antidote is 2 things. One is governments have to take a little bit of a risk. I think closing borders for the rest of our life is not the way. We live in a global world. There's enough testing out there. There's enough contact tracing to make sure that travel can go on at a safe speed. So we hope governments are a little bit more positive in terms of opening borders and having an affordable testing system. Eventually that will die down, just like the crazy security we had initially after 9/11. So that's number 1. Number 2, airlines will have to play their part in contact tracing and making sure that it's easy to get tested. And I'm encouraged by, the antidote really is governments being a little bit more courageous to affordable and quick testing, which we saw recently. Bristol, I think, Bristol Myers came out with a $5 test which can be done in 10 minutes just with a prick, and affordable PCR testing and good contact tracing, and airlines playing their part. So I'm quite optimistic that that's going to happen. Of course, a vaccine is hopefully around the corner, which is not going to solve everything. And 3 is cure. More and more people, I mean, while COVID has horrifically taken many, many lives, it is about 2%. And it affects us, an older group, people like me, worse than all the people filming me who are all very young. So people like us have to be more safe. And 4th is, we just have to be a bit braver. We can't just live in caves for the rest of our lives. So I'm optimistic. We've learned a lot more about this virus. Governments are cleverer. We've got some better testing and vaccines are coming out. Plus, I think human race should be applauded, certainly in Asia, for the discipline that we've taken in bringing this virus under control. Malaysia is less than 10 a day. Thailand hasn't had infections for 100 days, with just 1 recently. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Singapore, bar their migrant issue, have all done a good job. So, you know, we should also thank the people for being very disciplined in this. So it is dire, but you know, it's only one way, and that's up, and I remain optimistic.
Okay, so just last one more questions. On your speech, you emphasized Airasia's digital and financial services, like Big Pay. So is there any other new financial services you are trying to or you are thinking of on your head? Could you share your idea?
Yeah, you know, as I mentioned, we have Big Pay, which is our digital bank. And we also think Big Loyalty is going to be a great way of people bartering and using points to pay for transactions and accruing. Definitely online is going to grow, but it's going to be another channel. It's almost like when I was in the music business. You know, we all used cassettes and 5-track cartridge for those who are old enough, and records. And then the CD came along, and it was a huge jump in cost, and it was a big change, and then no one kind of wanted to pay for it. And then digital came along, and it took 5 or 6 years for people to be using it, and then digital took over. Will digital take over all of retail? No. I think it will be a larger part. I also think, like Airasia, we didn't take over full service airlines, we grew the market. I think digital world will grow the market, bring in new consumers, bring in new products, and retail will adjust accordingly. So, yep, we're prepared for it, we're excited about it, but I think old world and new world will still coexist. And this is not the death of the old world. I think it's actually a rejuvenation, because old world can also use digital to make things better and smarter.
Okay, so according to Tony, so maybe when life gives a lemon, so make a lemonade. Maybe I hope to enjoy this session. So thank you very much for coming to the session. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thanks to the speaker and moderator for the insightful words. This concludes the session. Thank all of you for staying with us. Please be sure to take all your belongings with you when you leave the hall. Thank you very much.